Lena, and today I'm going to tell you about the books I read in June. And since I have a lot of them and they're quite famous, I decided to just try to be a bit quick about it. So if you want more info or if you want to tell me what you thought about it, just comment down below and I'll be glad to answer you. So the first one is the Ayran Trial. You can find an entire review of that book on my channel. I'll link it in the description below. So if you want to know more about it and if you like it, on the video. The second one is Tsarina. Tsarina was a really good surprise. It's by J.N.L. Patrick. I don't know if you say Nell Nelly, I'm not sure, but it's by somebody Patrick. And so I found it at Barnes and Noble a year and a half ago roughly, so it's not very recent. And it's about the Romanov family in Russia, which was the imperial family, and I'm very passionate about them, so I was extremely glad to find a book about it. And it's about his kind of fiance. Alexei was the youngest child and she was supposed to marry him. They were in love. And it has a lot of mystery and history and traditions and magic and has everything I love about it, and it really makes you want to go to Russia. Like, really. It's really good. And it's a very quick read. It's quite easy too. And it's very nice because, well, it's set during the Russian Revolution of the 19s. So it's really nice because there's a lot of good character development, and it's completely different from what we know and what we're used to. And it's about that girl, and she's extremely strong. She's called Natalia, and when Alexei is taken away by the Soviets, she decides to come and save him, and so she goes through a whole journey in Russia to find a Fabergé egg, which is well, I think it's in that book. It's magical, and they used to have them in the Russian family, so that's true. So there's quite a lot of I'd say truth in this book. It's quite faithful to how it was, which is always nice. Of course, it's like it's a novel, so it's been romanticized a lot, but it's still really good. So if you want to get an idea of what it was like back then, or if you're interested in Russia or Romanov, even though you don't actually see them in the book, you can you see them 10 pages and then they get kidnapped, which I think is not a spoiler because that's just what happened. So it's still a really nice read, and it's really quick and easy, and it has a very pretty cover. Yeah. The next one is Where She Went by Gail Foreman. So this is a sequel to If I Stay, which I really loved, even though I was very disappointed by the end of it. And I was kind of not sure. I was a bit puzzled about it. I didn't know if I was going to enjoy myself. So I gave it a try, and it did good because it's really poetic and it has a very good, I would say, energy about it because it keeps moving, and after a while it gets quite good. The beginning to me was just annoying because it is from the point of view of Adam, and I can't stand Adam. So that one not very right for me. And he's being all douchey, and even though he explains how it is to be a rock star and everything, he's just annoying. I don't like Adam. I'm sorry, girls. I know lots of you probably love him, but I don't. I love Mia though, so I was really happy to find her and to know what happened to her and to see how she grew up after this awful experience that she has to go through in the first movie. And so yeah, it was a good read. It's not my favorite. If I Stay is definitely, to me, much better. But that's always the case. Sequels are rarely better than the first novels. And so yeah, it was good. And I think if you like If I Stay, if you like Gail Foreman, it's a really good read. And at least you get to see the end of the story, how it all ended. So I would advise you to read it. And if you haven't read If I Stay and you genuinely enjoy young adult literature and POVs and drama, go for it. It's really good. And that was a movie with Chloe Grace Moretz, and I love her. The next one is Paper Towns. So I've actually read this one because it's gonna come out in France soon to the theater, and I hate seeing a movie before reading the book. So I hurried myself up to read it. I hadn't picked it up yet, and I was very, very glad I did, and not surprised at all because it's pure, wonderful John Green. For those of you that don't know who John Green is, he is the author of The Fault in Our Stars, and I loved that book. It was a heartbreaker to me. And Paper Towns was really good and really different in the sense that it has kind of a lot of mystery and a coming of age kind of feel, and there was a bit of a road trip, which I always love. And the characters are really good and interesting. The main character is so sweet and dedicated and passionate, and the girl, Margo, is so special. She is so special. Margo is the girl. Margo is so special, very unique. And so Paper Town is about this guy who's called Q, like for Quentin. I don't know how you say Quentin in English. Who's called Q. This guy, he has been in love with his neighbor Margo since they were children. And when they were children, they discovered a dead body. And since then, they haven't been in touch so much. And suddenly, she comes up in his room with a plan, and she just takes him with her. And then, the day after that, she just disappears. And so, it's about trying to look for Margo, but also trying to understand what made her run away, if she ran away. And it deals with a lot of hard, heavy themes like suicide, for example. It's not a spoiler though. It just deals with that kind of thing, and it's a really good book. It's very quick and easy, like most John Green books, and it's very poetic. It's like barely, yeah, it's barely 300 pages. Mine isn't even 300 pages, so it's always good. And I really like how it was written. Like you'll see if you pick it up at some point. We have different parts of the book, and it was very smart and clever, and it was just a pleasure to read. So I would advise you to pick it up if you haven't yet, especially if you're gonna see the movie. So next books, I have too many of them to hold them in my hands, and the last one of this video are the Heroes of Olympus series. So I really enjoyed Percy Jackson when I watched it. I really loved it. It was a pleasure to read it, and I'm very glad I picked up this series afterwards, which is a sequel to Percy Jackson. If you don't know about Percy Jackson, he's a demigod, and he discovers that when he's 12 and goes to Camp Half-Blood. And the thing is, he disappears at the beginning of those series, and it's about his friends looking for him, and it's about rivalities and differences and still coming together and trying to be united even though you're so different and you've always been taught you were born to hate each other. And I really loved it because, well, first of all, it's way more grown up than Percy Jackson, but it's still very funny. It's very easy and quick to read, even though they're quite big books, like 600 pages, I think, or something. And they're very pleasant to read. You have a lot of different POVs, which is really good. I really loved the new main characters, and I was very glad to see the old ones coming back. And the great thing about those books, even more than Percy Jackson, is not only do they deal with dyslexia and ADHD and all that kind of thing, you also have a homosexual character, you have people that are very important main characters and then bring with them their culture. And you have also, it talks a lot about all the eras of the 20th century, and it's very interesting, and we go through a big trip and journey, and it's so good to be with them the whole way. I would say that my favorite one was the Mark of Athena. I actually don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but I'm just gonna go for it. This was my favorite one because Annabeth is my favorite character, and she was the main character in this one, kind of. She had a very important mission in this one, so I really loved to read about her, even though I do enjoy the new characters. They were all really good. I've picked them up because the blood of Olympus. The 5th and last book came out last year, and I really wanted to know what happened to Percy and Annabeth, and I tried to read them earlier when I was younger, and it didn't work out for me because my English wasn't good enough. So here it is. We don't have any POV from Percy and Annabeth, and I really missed it. But it was a really wonderful ending to the series, and I'm very glad, and I hope we'll get to get back to them and maybe learn more about this world. I'm gonna try the Kane Chronicles. If somebody has read them, please tell me if you like them. Yes, I think that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any suggestions, please comment down below. And if you want to tell me what you thought about the books, I would love to hear your opinion. And you can see me next week for a book tag video, and next week or the week after that for a French books recommendation video. I'm going to tell you about French literature and what I love about it. So I hope I'll see you then. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Bye bye!